All right. How we doing? Today we're going to do a little different. Use an old deck that haven't used in quite some time. The Industrial Nightmare here. Um, it's an old deck I made back when I first started playing this to play standard. All the rest of these are only for historic. Well, because the card rotations, this one's not in standard anymore. I can only play it in historic, but it's not very good, so it's a little difficult to play. But it is fun when it does work. So we're gonna go over this one. It's just like the Construct Madness deck, but a little different. So we'll start over here. It's white and blue. We got 3 steps ahead. It's very likely you've seen this card on the videos. He uses them a lot. It's more or less a counter spell. But the way these work, if you notice, it costs 1 blue no matter what. And then if you want to counter a spell, when you cast this, you have to play 1 blue and 1 colorless. Or you can create a token that's a copy of another artifact or creature you control. And that costs the blue plus 3 colorless. And then finally you can draw 2 cards and discard a card for blue and 2 colorless. So this is a nice little extra thing to have, on hand. Fabrication Foundry. This is actually a fairly important card in this deck. It's just an artifact that you can use to ramp. It makes white mana. You can only use that mana to cast artifacts, which is most of the spells in this deck. But then you can exile 1 or more artifacts from your graveyard, and then bring back a card with the same mana value as those cards that you just cast, or less than the same. So, and it puts it straight to the battlefield. So if you need to get something out of the graveyard, that's what you do with this. Then we got Sten, just a one-off copy because it's not that important, but it makes you choose a card type, which we would choose artifact in this case, and so the artifacts cost 1 less to cast. And then you can blink him, exile him, and then he returns to the battlefield at the end of at the end of the turn. You do that to protect him, like if they cast a murder or some kind of spell that gets rid of him, you pay the 3 mana there and you blink him out of existence before they're able to do that. But really he's just there for the extra, making the artifacts cost 1 less. We got the Ironcrag. We've had that before. It's mainly here for ramp because it gives you 1 colorless, but it is an equipment I can attach to a legendary creature to give them +3, and they lose all their other abilities, which is really dumb. It's just the ramp. That's the only reason it's here. Then we got our famous Simulacrum Synthesizer. I don't think I need to explain too much about it. It's the one that makes the big construct. Every time you cast an artifact with 3 or greater mana, specifically. So it would have to be artifacts from this part up. So to go with the Simulacrum Synthesizer, we have the Worldwalker Hound. So basically it makes the synthesizer create 2 creature tokens instead of 1, is more or less what this does. And or no, wait a minute, not that, I'm sorry. Every time you would create a token, it gives you a map token. It don't create a separate one. The map token, then you can use them to explore, which means you pick a creature, you sacrifice the map token, tap 1 colorless, and then that creature explores, which means you draw I don't know how many, but Oh, it's just your top card. You pull your top card off. If it's a land, I believe, you get, no. Yeah, if it's a land, you get +1/+1. If it's a creature, you get to put it in your hand or the graveyard. Or back in the library or the graveyard. Oh, I think I told you wrong. You put lands in your hand, any other card gives them +1, and you can put that card back on the library or in the graveyard. That's what it is. It's a little weird, but more or less its purpose is the bottom part. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact token you control, so you can copy those simulacrums. Here's a fun card. This is one of my removal spells. It's actually an equipment, a shield, called the Assimilation Aegis. When it enters, you exile one target creature until this equipment leaves the battlefield. Then, if you want, you can attach this equipment to one of your creatures, and that creature becomes a copy of the creature that you exile. So, if they got a pretty good creature over there and you exile it with this, you can make your creatures one of those as well. Which I don't use that much, but it's a great removal tool. And then we got Urza Lord Protector. I can't remember, did I have him in that other deck? I don't think so. Anyway, what Urza does, we're going to come back to Urza, because there's a little extra you got to do with it. So we're going to go to the Thran Spider. It's a 2/4 with reach. When it enters, it gives me and the opponent a tapped Power Stone. Which is not bad for them to get one, because it makes the tap Power Stone just gives you one colorless when you tap it, but you can only use it to cast artifacts. So the opponent's not going to be able to use it as often unless they have a bunch of artifacts. But then while it's down, you can tap 7, look at the top 4 cards, and put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. It's really mainly here as the creature, and then it gives you that little extra ramp, just to, something to block the board. Then we got the Thousand Moon Smithy. It's an artifact. When it works similar to this. When it comes into play, it creates a gnome soldier whose toughness and power are equal to the number of artifacts I control. Then, at the beginning of my first main phase, or the next turn after you cast it, you can tap 5 artifacts and or creatures, and you transform this into that land over there, the Barracks of the Thousand. Now, if you remember, when it was just an artifact, it just made one of those gnomes whenever it came into the battlefield. Now, as a land, anytime a creature comes into play, you use this to cast it, it creates another gnome with the life that's equal to how many artifacts you have. So then we got the Might Stone and the Weak Stone, and we got Urza Lord Protector. You have to have both of them on the battlefield to make that Planeswalker. The Urza Lord Protector just makes artifacts, instants, and sorcery cost 1 less to cast. And then when you got 7 mana and the Might Stone and Weak Stone on the battlefield, you exile them and spend 7 mana, and he creates the the Planeswalker. The Might Stone and Weak Stone's nice. It's an artifact that comes down. Gives you a good ramp with 2 colorless whenever you tap it. Now, you can only use that colorless to cast artifacts. But when it enters the battlefield, you can choose to either draw 2 cards or do -5, or give a creature -5/-5. So you can use it to remove something or draw 2 cards, whatever you need at that time. Then, when you finally transform them, you got both cards on here and you got 7 mana. Then you get the Planeswalker, and that usually ends the game. While his passive ability is that you can use his abilities twice every turn instead of just once like a normal Planewalker. It's very nice. Then for +2, it makes your artifact instants and sorceries cost 2 less to cast, and you gain 2 life. But that only lasts for a turn. So, you know, at the beginning of your turn, you know you got some cards you want to cast, you use the +2 ability. Or you need the life. The +1 gives you draw 2 cards and then discard a card. That's probably the one I use the most. 0, create 2 colorless soldier artifact creatures tokens. For -3, you can exile a permanent of theirs. So it's a removal. And for -10, artifacts of planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until the end of turn, and you destroy all non-land permanents. You destroy all yours and all of theirs, except yours now have an indestructible, so they don't get destroyed. And that's Urza. So that's the main deck. In a nutshell, what you do is just basically try to get as many of those damn robots or gnomes out and inundate them with it. But then, if you can, the problem with this is this is for the long game. If it looks like it's going to take a little bit, then you work towards getting Urza out, trying to transform him. Other than that, if you don't get this or this, then you know, it's not going to do too good. But you got 6 of them total, so it usually works. You usually get at least one of them. It is a lot of fun when I get the Planeswalker, except most people just quit as soon as he enters the battlefield. It is what it is. So here's what the artifact creatures look like. Here's the gnomes. They're crazy looking. And of course the robots that this thing creates. On the lands, we got our plains, islands, deserted beach. This one comes into play tapped unless I control 2 or more lands. So once I get 2 lands on the battlefield, when I throw this one down, it'll be untapped. And then we got this is the double land. You just choose which side you want when you put it down. This is one that always comes into play tapped, but it's also has that when you cast this, you get the Surveil 1. So you look at the top part of your library and decide if you want to leave it there or put it in the graveyard. That's good because you know, you might not be getting the card you want or whatever, but it helps you to move through the deck faster to hopefully get one of these. It's more or less. And then if it goes to the graveyard, you can pull it back with him. So that's kind of what's going on with the Surveil. Then we have the Restless Anchorage. That's the creature card. It just becomes a 2/3 bird creature when it's when you want it to, and it creates a map token if you attack with it. Then we got this one. This one's comes in tapped unless we have 2 or fewer. So the idea is this one, if it's your first or second land, it'll come in untapped, but after that it always comes in tapped. And we got the Blast Zone. You put a charge counter on it when it enters, and then you can spend mana if you got extra mana to put more charge counters on it. And then, and then when you got enough charge counters and you want to use it, you can sacrifice the land and destroy each permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on it. So, you know, removal, or kind of like a board wipe to a certain extent. And then for more Revolt, we've had this one. You discard a card, look at the top X cards your library. X is equal to the number of artifacts you control, and you put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. It's another way to, you know, search through your deck, a tutor. Then we got 2 copies of Mirrex. It's obviously adds 1 colorless. For whatever reason, it never works, but the turn you put this land down, it'll make any color, just for that turn. So I guess if you plan it right, you can use it to help you cast something, but after that first turn, it just gives you colorless. And then you can use 3 mana and tap this at any time to create a Phyrexian Might artifact token that can't block. But it has Toxic 1, which means when you attack with it, it does damage. And then it also puts a poison counter on whatever, on the person or the creature. So if you don't kill it, you put the poison counter on there, and once you get 10 or more poison counters on the player, the game's over. You win. So these are really just here for when you're having trouble getting these out. You know, use this to put you some creatures on the battlefield to aggravate them. But okay, that's the Industrial Nightmare deck. We're going to take it out for a ride now and see what happens. Go to the home screen. Historic. Nightmare. Alright, let's pray. Lord, help us play good this time. Give me some good draws and good hands. Okay, what do we got here? It's good that I got this in the draw. Kind of cool that I got both of these in the opening draw, and this. Kind of has everything, I'm just running low on these. So let's see what happens. Hello, friend. Alright, turn 1, I won't be able to cast anything. Doesn't matter. See, that one came in untapped because it's the kind that does for 2 or fewer lands. So. Wow. That actually counts as 3 mana now, so we might actually be able to cast something. Let's see. Do I want to put the World Walker down or the Thran Spider? I guess and he's probably got removal, so let's save the Spider first. I really need to get a land on the next draw. Okay. The Terminus of Return. It's indestructible. Exile a creature you control. Exile a creature you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, return creature from the graveyard. Oh, it's bring stuff back from the graveyard. Oh, it's a shame I don't have one of those cards. Now, let's see. Is this going to come in tapped or untapped? I have 2 or more, so it's going to be untapped. Yay. Alright. Well, then the best one to get down is this. Let's see what happens. I won't be able to transfer one with play wild. Oh no, it'll let me, and next turn it's automatic. What we got here? Evangelist creature draws charges. Alright, so we're going to tap some things. I unfortunately... Yeah, we'll go ahead. And that turns that 1 back into a land. Now this is going to be... I really probably should have done something different this time now than I should have used this to create a copy of that. And I've had another 8/8 on the shield. So, if I make it the next turn, I'll probably cast this. Maybe put 5 to get rid of one of his creatures. And not that one. And all these cards. Alright, tag on both of them. Okay, so he wants that creature to die. And alright, let's see. Do I want to get rid of or draw cards? I think drawing cards is let's see. How do we put Urza down? If he took 15, or he really needs that one creature. Next turn, hopefully I can transform Urza. He's probably going to kill him. Come on, then. You make me nervous. This is the thing that causes me anxiety. This thing where you're sitting here going, oh God, what's he thinking about? What's he going to do? I just want to get to that next turn to make it work. You know, I don't know what that does. Bit of crime, put it closer to that. Okay, it just gets bigger whenever they do. Okay, here we go. It's a moment of truth. Let's figure out. See how that one's, how this lands yellow? That means it'll come in tapped. So I don't want to use that one. This transform Urza.
Challenge is just an opportunity to experiment. I have no use for you.
And let's see. Let's draw.
Everything falls into place.
All right. Cast. This will be cheaper. Make another one. Yeah, let's get them to explore a little bit. Now let's stop. Make another. Can I got enough to make another one? Let's see. No. I can draw and discard and I can counter. That's good. I can counter one of their things. Hopefully that disrupted them really good, because there's no telling what they were going to get back from here. You know? Yeah, that's a big nasty right there. That's what he was trying to get. Shit. That would have fucked me up. Ah, he quit. Yay! Alrighty then. Let's see. Right now my goals are to cast 20 white or reds or 20 black or green. So I can finish this one out with that deck. Alright. Let's play another one. That last match was pretty good. That was fairly fun. I kind of wish the guy hadn't quit though, because I think, you know, could have shown you a little more what it was going to do next. I've never seen that player before. Alright, well, we got one of these, which is always good in the first hand. Not real crazy about the rest of it though. I'm going to keep it because I just haven't learned this deck well enough yet. This weird ass thing. I hate these things. They're just weird and creepy to me. Alright, which land we putting down first? I guess this one. They're both going to come in tap. So, it doesn't matter. I bet I don't know what I'm gonna run into. Okay, we're getting fucked with the land, it looks like. Of course. My luck again, we'll keep that. Let's see. Well, at least we got some kind of land here. Alright, so I can cast the Simulacrum Synthesizer. Or I could get Spin down, and it'll cost a little less. I just can't do more than one. That's the problem. So, let's do the Synthesizer. And hope he doesn't destroy it. That's the main thing. Keep that display. People know this card now since it's been out. If he can destroy it, he will. In fact, a lot of regular players are putting artifact removal in their deck to get rid of this. And there's of course a couple of artifacts and enchantments that they like to get rid of too, but this is a pretty big one actually. Oh, there it goes. I knew he was gonna go. Yep. So, man, we would have had at least 3/3 out. Now, this only works on a creature. Would exile one thing. Try to get rid of that. Let's put the foundation down. Try to keep ramping. The no mana thing's screwing me because I have these and can't even use them. Pulling up a land now. still not a lot of shit I can do here. I can get rid of one of theirs, but I need to get rid of this. Whenever opponent casts their first. Get rid of their card draw. And I still have no blockers. Oh well, I'm fucking lose this match anyway, because I'm not getting anything. This sucks. This fucking sucks. I hate it when it does that. God damn it. Fuck! Damn it. Do I quit or keep playing? I'm gonna quit. Fuck this. Balls. Now I'm mad. Alright, well, there's the Industrial Nightmare deck. At least you got to see it play good once. But, alright, I'm gonna go and start working on getting this on the YouTube. It'll take about 45 minutes just to get it connected to YouTube. Have a good one.